We good? All right. Hi, my name is Skylar Ramirez. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. Let's get started with some mindful breathing. Take one hand on the belly, one hand up to the heart, roll the shoulders down and back, lengthen through the crown of the head, but keep the chin tucked in just a little bit. If you're standing, for those of you joining us at home today, lean back into your heels. And from here, just take a deep breath into your nose and out from your throat. Feel the chest rise and fall with the next few easy breaths, breathing in through the nose as much as possible. Exhaling from the throat, mouth can be open or closed. Try closing the eyes. Let's work on shaping the breath a little more, taking both hands down to the belly now. As we inhale, pushing the stomach out into our hands, and then exhale, pulling the stomach in. Still inhaling in through the nose, exhale from the throat. Now, in your mind, begin to shape the breath to a rhythm or a count of 3. So as we inhale, we're counting 1, 2, 3. Pause, exhale, 3, 2, 1, pause. We'll keep this rhythm for the next 3 to 5 breaths, keeping in mind that the exhale is more important than the inhale. Perhaps even squeezing the stomach muscles in with an active, dynamic contraction. That way we're able to not only rid the body of stagnant breath, but this contraction also helps to massage the stomach, the gut and intestines, possibly flushing out toxic stress hormones. At some point, we'll just trust the body to continue to breathe with its own natural rhythm. Let's bring the hands down beside us, opening the palms of the hands. On our next inhale, we're circle sweeping the arms up and overhead, reaching up and looking up. Maybe shift forward and back in the soles of the feet. Now, depending on what kind of shoes we have on today, we may want to keep that shift forward really conservative. So if you have any bit of a heel or a boot on today, you don't want to shift too far forward. Let's come to a still point with our feet flat to the floor, turning the palms forward. We'll bend our elbows, take a breath in place, and now exhale, circle sweep the arms back and down. Let's just circle the arms a few times with our breath. Inhale, circling up, contracting the muscles behind the heart. Exhale, circling back, exaggerating both the inhale and the exhale, so that we're lifting the ribs. As we exhale, we pull up and take it back. This opening and stretching of the ribs is used in yoga practices and in therapy practices to lift metabolism, which means hopefully we're digesting more efficiently, eliminating more efficiently, absorbing nutrients. One more full inhale, full exhale, moving with our own unique breathing rhythms. Absolutely no rush. When you feel that you've rounded out those cycles of breath, bring the hands to the heart, pressing the thumbs to the center of the chest. Let's take our feet out just to the width of our pelvis bones. So we're keeping the feet in more narrow than the hips, and hopefully this can alleviate any pressure from long periods of sitting. Let's step our left foot back, bending the right knee. And as we do, we'll open the arms, pulling the elbows back, allowing the ribs to protrude forward and up, maybe even looking up towards the sky. Taking in a big breath here into the center of the chest. As we exhale, let's look forward, hands to the heart, and step forward to the original position. Taking our right foot back, elbows pull back, lifting the chin, breathing easy. Imagining we're trying to hold a pencil or a golf ball between the shoulder blades. Breathe into the center of the chest and open the throat. Exhale, step forward. So let's try this one breath, one movement, syncing it up. Left foot back, inhale, open. Keep a bend in the right knee, exhale, forward. Right foot back, inhale, open. Looking up, exhale, forward. As we continue with this movement, it is going to be highly repetitive, and we want it to be that way because we're attempting to program some new neuromuscular patterns into the body. Try closing the eyes. So once we've had our eyes open and our body has had time to rehearse the movement with vision, eventually progressing this or making it more challenging by closing the eyes so that our body seeks out balance or starts to sense the space through feeling, not through seeing. Let's do at least one more. Left leg back, right leg back, moving as slow as might be needed so that we're able to maintain a sense of security, a sense of balance in the body. It is natural to close the eyes and for this to feel kind of shaky. Eventually coming to a still point. Let's take our feet out wider than the hips. And for any of us who've had any tightness in our outer hip, maybe even tightness in the low back from long periods of sitting, then I recommend that you take the feet even more narrow. From here, we're keeping our right foot forward, lifting the left toe, pivot the left toe out towards the side. Let's bend our left knee, reach the arms out, and look out over the left fingertips. Notice any impulse to look away, even noticing when maybe our attention is pulled by instruction or by other movements around us, other sounds. Attempting to steady the gaze, noticing those distractions, and noticing that there is a small space we can make after the awareness of a distraction where we can choose to stay still or we can react. This particular exercise is known as an active meditation in impulse control. So we can blink, definitely noticing when our eyes feel dry, blinking, but trying to send the breath and send the gaze over the left fingertips. Let's turn both palms up, still gazing over the left hand, straightening our left leg. Let's look up towards the sky and reach the arms overhead. Tracking the movement of our left hand. Inhaling in place, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands down to that warrior two position and gaze out over the left hand again. Let's try pacing this with our own breaths. Inhaling up. Tracking the left hand. There's almost like a little bit of a Tai Chi feel to this when we attempt to focus the mind and steady the gaze on the left hand. We're going to do at least 2 or 3 more of these, knowing that at any time, if there's any pain in the body at all, you could always just take pause and focus on the breath. The breath is more important than the movement. Maybe just one more time through. Meeting in our warrior two expression, let's reach down with our right hand. Turning the left palm up, we're reaching straight up with the left hand and looking up. Keep bending the right knee. There's a deep, left knee, sorry, bend the left knee, right leg is straight, looking up at the left hand. Imagine you're breathing just into the upper left lung. Notice at the top of the breath, we're able to reach just a little more with the expansion of the lungs. We encourage a little more length in the spine. One more big breath here. And now exhale, lower the left hand onto the left thigh. Let's lean over to the left, pushing back into that right hip. We'll take our right hand, take it down past the hip, sweep it around. Imagine you're trying to shake hands with someone walking towards you. And now inhale, circle it back, maybe even look behind you and imagine you're trying to shake hands with someone moving towards you. Let's bend our right elbow, taking the knuckles into the low back while we're here rolling that right shoulder back and maybe trying to press the left shoulder over the left knee, creating a twist. So we have a little extra added bonus movement today with this for the sake of detox. In yoga, they call it Uddiyana Bandha. It means belly lock. That's it, belly lock. It's the same movement we would use as if we were going to maybe suck in to put on a tight pair of pants, or maybe we suck in to look thinner. I don't know, right? So it's that time of year. So let's try just for a moment, looking down towards our left foot. And we'll bring the chin in towards the chest without creating too much tension, without bearing down. Pull the muscles up in the pelvic floor, the same muscles used for endurance in the bladder. Exhale all the way, then pause. In that pause, do not take a breath. Stay there. Pull the belly button in, and now pull it up really quick. Holding it there, you may be able to twist back a little more as this scooping action can actually move our intestines out of the way. Release that contraction. And now push off the leg. And let's come up to warrior two, resetting the spine. Looking over the left fingertips. Let's take our hands to the hips, turning the left toe forward, lifting our right foot, turning it out, and bending our right knee. Extending the arms out, looking over the right fingertips. Practice in impulse control. So in yoga, we call this our responsive nature versus our reactive nature. Making that space between awareness and action. Maybe close the eyes, visualize the breath, sense the presence of the exhale moving out over the right fingertips. You could even exhale from the throat as if you're blowing out candles, pushing the breath out over the right fingertips. Again, noticing any distractions, anything from the environment that might attempt to shift our gaze or to shift the focus. And after we notice, understanding that we can choose to be still, we can choose to respond with stillness. Just a couple more easy breaths here. Inhale into the nose. Exhale from the throat. Fixing our gaze just on that right hand. Let's turn both palms up. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead and straightening our right leg. Exhale, pressing the palms down to shoulder height, bending our right knee. Following our own unique breath, we're choreographing the movement. Each inhale, each exhale has an assigned movement. If you notice your mind wandering, the first thing you do is congratulate yourself for noticing. That is the whole point of yoga and meditation. It is awareness, the ability to just notice things. Let's do just one more. Eventually, we'll all meet in our warrior two position. Fixing the gaze, taking our left hand down, turning just that right palm up, reaching straight up, bending our right knee, breathing into the upper right lung. So this particular pose, doing this on the right side, we use this to help boost energy in the body. Energetically, this helps to stretch the liver, which has the potential to help stimulate the organ, releasing more iron into our bloodstream. So on these short winter days, and as we're about to dip into some very, very cold temperatures, we can get fatigue. So this would be our Starbucks pose. This is the Starbucks pose. Big inhale into that upper right lung, reach. Exhale, relax a little. One more big reach, reaching a little more at the top of the breath. Exhale, right hand to the right thigh, allowing our tailbone and hip to push out to the left. We're reaching that left hand out as if we're shaking hands with someone coming towards us. Now sweep the arm down, shaking hands with someone in front of us. Take it all the way around, shaking hands to the back again. Bending our left arm, left knuckles to the low back, keeping that active bend in the right knee as we begin to roll that left shoulder back and press our right shoulder and armpit over that right thigh. Now, every once in a while on this side, each side can be very different. Every once in a while, it might feel like you're kind of stuck on this side. Sometimes it's just because your liver gets in the way. So if you feel like you're a little stuck, take your hand onto your waist and gather up your intestines and your liver, and then pull it forward a little bit, and then return that hand. And this will help us with that belly detox thing. Let's bring our gaze down towards the right foot, chin into the chest, feeling that there's a softening and a stretch under the base of the skull. Exhale all the way, pause, pull the muscles up in the pelvis. Stay in that still space just for another moment. Without taking an inhale, quickly pull the navel in and up. Holding it there. 3, 2, twist a little more. 1, and then release that contraction in the belly. Let's push off of our right leg, finding warrior 2 pose again, reaching out through the fingertips, just taking a pause to close the eyes and breathe. Tune into the breath. If you feel a little warmer, that's exactly what that pose is for. And we are going to progress that twist with that belly lock in just a moment. One more easy breath. Let's bring the hands to the hips, turning both toes forward. From here, let's step. Let's start first with our feet in, more narrow than the hips. So it may be pelvis width, it could be a little more narrow here. We're stepping our left foot back, a casual stride, and bending the right knee. Let's inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive down, coming down about halfway. We're flipping our hips back behind us into our airplane expression. Taking our left hand across to that right thigh, and then we'll tuck the right knuckles into the low back. We are going to move into what's called a twisting pyramid pose here. As we inhale, we're breathing into the upper right lung, and the breath will assist the twist. On your next inhale, breathe into that right lung and start twisting towards the right a little more. So now we're attempting to draw that left shoulder over the right thigh in the twist. Notice intuitively if your legs want to straighten. So naturally, some people's right leg wants to straighten. When we do this, it turns into a twisting triangle. Neither pose is better per se. It's just a matter of targeting whatever muscles are tight in your body. So do what feels right for you. Let's look over that right shoulder. Bring the chin in, pull the muscles up in the pelvis. Exhale all the way, pause. Add in that quick tug in and up of the navel, or act surprised, 1, 2, 3. Twist a little more. Really drawing that left shoulder over the right leg. Holding it, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release the contraction. Bend the right knee. This can take some pressure out of the back, and then bring it to center. Inhaling both arms up and overhead. Stepping forward, switching out the legs, right leg back, left knee bent. This is warrior 1 pose. Exhaling about halfway down. At that halfway point, checking in with our low backs, flipping the hips back. Hopefully we feel a little bit of a spread across the low back and the buttocks region. From here, placing both hands onto that left thigh. And at any point, the body might, all on its own, straighten the leg. I do recommend keeping just a little bend in that knee. Avoid locking out. Let's keep our right hand on the left leg. Take the left arm forward. I'll circle it back, beginning that twist towards the left. Maybe twisting a little more just by inhaling into the upper left lung, drawing the left shoulder back and pressing the right chest and shoulder over the left leg. Activating a little more of a twist here with our belly lock, chin in, pelvic floor muscles lift. Exhale all the way, make that space, create that stillness after the exhale. And when your body is ready, belly in, belly up. Twisting a little more, holding it 3, 2, 1. Release the belly contraction, bend the left knee a tiny bit, and let's slowly unwind our spines to center. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead. Exhale, stepping forward. Feet are at the width of the hips, reaching up. Option to turn the palms back, maybe looking up, shifting forward to add in just a tiny heel lift. And again, whatever shoes we might have on today could affect the lift in the pose. Attempt to thrust the hips forward just a little bit, engage the buttocks. And as we push the hips forward, we're opening the front of the hip. That part of the hip can get really tight when we have to sit for long periods of time, and it can actually affect our backs. So we're trying to open the hip to save our backs. One more big breath in, reach like you're holding on to 100 helium balloons, and then relax the arms. So let's do just a little bit of a balance pose. One of my favorites, which is most well known as tree, we're going to use it today. So starting with hands at the hips or hands to the side. So you could be a tightrope walker, or you can have those hands anchored. We're looking down past our nose and past our cheeks. This is called like a 45-degree gaze. This is where the eyes have the least amount of tension. We're shifting our weight into one foot. Let your body choose for you what foot it wants to shift to. Having one leg as that primary pillar of support, we're bending our other knee and lifting the other heel. Whatever knee is bent, we swivel it to the side and let the heel rest on that standing leg. At this point, we might keep our feet on the ground. We could come up to the tippy toes. Continuing to steady the gaze. There is science behind this. When we look past the cheeks and the nose, it affects the optic nerve. And this could be beneficial not only for balance, but also if we've had to stare at a computer screen for a long time. Option to stay here, or maybe slide that foot up onto the inner leg. It can stay below the knee. Or if you're curious to experiment today, maybe give that leg a little lift. Bring it above your knee, allowing the body to go wherever it wants to go. Now, at any time, if we notice that our mind is wandering, close your eyes. That will immediately pull us back into this moment. As soon as we close our eyes, it's all about trying not to fall over. So there's no room for thinking about anything else when you're trying not to fall over. Find the breath, inhale into the chest. And now exhale, relax the feet. Let's shake out our legs. Take a moment, just let the body feel fully supported on both feet. And when you're ready, establish that mountain position, standing tall, gazing down, closing the eyes at any time, shifting our weight into the other leg, bending the other knee, swivel it out, and maybe just pause for a moment, allowing the body to feel that it's still connected to the earth and the weight is shifting. Option to stay here, maybe come onto the tippy toes. And again, at any time, closing the eyes. If you notice your mind wandering, congratulate yourself for noticing. Then recenter with the breath, recenter by closing the eyes. Option to slide that foot up onto the inside of the leg. It could be below the knee, or it could be above the knee. The main thing here is that there's no pressure on the kneecap. As soon as we close our eyes, we might feel the body gets pulled in all different directions. Just notice what happens if you lean a little bit into that pull. What happens when we don't resist it? Well, some of us could fall over, so you just got to catch yourself. It's okay. The only way to know those tipping points is to tip over. Breathing into the heart, one more big breath. Let's open our eyes, place both feet down on the floor. Maybe kick out the legs a little bit. As we're nearing the end of our practice today, we have been doing cupping, working with acupressure points and lymphatic drainage. So it is a fact that we have slower circulation this time of year. It's our connection to the environment. So we want to stimulate that with some gentle patting. Let's take the arms out, bringing left hand over the right. We're just gently bringing it into the shoulder. Now, I only do 2 times because of time, right hand up. But if you do this at home, I would recommend at least 5 repetitions on this. Other side. But something is better than nothing, right? Moving from our arms, we're taking it into the armpits. Lots of lymph nodes here. So we're going to take it down, under the ribs, into the gut. This is one of the primary places where the lymphatic system flushes out excess fluid. From here, taking the feet out, bending the knees. In a perfect world, you'd be able to do this at home, lying on your back with your legs up. And this way you could have gravity to help get the fluid off your ankles and out of your legs. So pat from the inner knees, bring it in over the hip and into the gut. The last thing to balance our nervous system and stress response is to just pat the center of your chest. This is the thymus gland. Boosting the immune system, closing the eyes, taking a few deep inhales, big exhales, smile, animate the face. So smiling in yoga, it's not necessarily so you fake it till you make it. It is truly a neurological connection to the vagus nerve. It is another stress response in the body. And if we can smile and raise the eyebrows, if you can become a human smiley face emoji, you have the potential to more efficiently handle stress. Just keep smiling through it. Eventually relax the hands. Let's sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, sweep them back. One more big unifying breath to close. Exhale, relax. From here, we can close together. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Namaste. Go enjoy your beautiful day.